specialist. And if you're eating clean and you're sleeping well and you're following the right routine, but you still feel exhausted, you still feel like a shell of yourself, and you have to like kill yourself out of bed in the morning and push yourself through your afternoon and through your evening, then this is for you, okay? Because I'm going to show you the top 5 reasons why this happens. The top 5 reasons why hundreds and hundreds of women that we work with who were stuck are now able to just feel normal again and just get through the day and have energy left over at night for your kids or to do stuff you actually want to do and not just park your ass on the couch because you're exhausted and you can't do anything else. Okay, what we want for you is to be able to do the stuff you want to do because you want to do it, because you can do it, not because you feel like you have limited options based off of how you feel. Okay, and so there's 5 reasons, and they're all found in this piece of paper here. You know what this is? This is very comprehensive functional medicine testing. So we're testing for a ton of stuff that your conventional doctor isn't testing for. We do that with every client right out of the gate. The reason we do that is because there are 5 key areas that most doctors are not testing for. They're not testing for. Sarah says, I feel like a shell of myself. That's right. You're not alone, Sarah. Okay, what are those 5 categories really that are being missed by most doctors? The first one's hormones. There's 3 types of hormones, okay? There's thyroid hormones, sex hormones like estrogen and testosterone, and adrenal hormones. So adrenal hormones are cortisol. That's the stress system when you're all aggravated and you're all tense, and the person cut you off in traffic, or the one person said something to you this morning, you can't let it go. You keep replaying it over and over in your mind. That's slowly keeping your cortisol levels elevated, and it's going to, over time, slowly exhaust your adrenals. So that's one thing. The thyroid hormones, a ton of women, by the way, are underdiagnosed with hypothyroidism. That's low thyroid function. And so a lot of women are walking around with a gray area, a small degree of hypothyroidism, but their doctors call it normal because their doctors aren't comparing them to what's optimal. The doctors are comparing them to what's average. And is the average person a healthy person? No, right? So do you want to compare yourself to them? I don't. So yeah, Sarah said you always had normal results. How common is that? So many women tell us that my results were normal, but do they feel normal? No. So okay, so that's one reason why, because they're looking at the numbers the wrong way. Thyroid hormones are one big area for improvement we often see in women's labs, and they bring them to us, and they said, oh, my doctor said that they were normal. There's also sex hormones like estrogen and testosterone. Yes, those slowly wane over time as we age, but they don't need to go away completely. Okay, you can naturally support them. Second category is blood sugar. Your blood sugar is something that is largely under your control, contrary to what most people believe. They just use that as an excuse. Oh, my blood sugar is out of control. That's why I'm irritable, and that's why I'm an asshole. Okay, that's not an excuse. You can't use that as an excuse. Okay? I'm taking that away right now because your diet, your stress patterns, your exercise all influence your blood sugar, whether it's up and down or whether it's nice and even and stable, so you feel nice and even and stable throughout the day. Okay, third is liver health. Now we're looking at a few additional markers on these labs that most other doctors are not looking for, just like with all 5 of these categories, but looking at your liver markers here to make sure your liver is working as well as it should, because your liver is, number 1, your main detox organ. All of your blood is filtered through your liver, all of it. So if your liver's not working and you're not filtering all the impurities out of your blood over time, and is that going to help you or hurt you? So making sure the liver is optimal. Number 3. Number 4 is nutrient deficiencies. This one is huge. There's so many nutrients that your body needs to thrive. If your body doesn't have them, then what happens? Obviously, your body can't do what it needs to do. And that, if you're fatigued, iron's one of the major ones that we see all the time, doing a proper iron panel. Vitamin D could be a deficiency in vitamin D, which is actually a vitamin that acts more like a hormone than anything. It could be magnesium. There's zinc. Okay? A number of nutrients that we test for that you're not going to get in the conventional doctor's testing. And if you don't test for them, how are you going to know if you're deficient or not? Okay, the last category is inflammation. Inflammation is big because it is the number 1 factor that is the biggest common thread through all chronic diseases, whether it's diabetes, or hypothyroidism or autoimmune diseases or cancer or obesity. Depression and anxiety, actually, to many people's surprise, is not as much of a neurochemical imbalance as it is an inflammatory process in the brain, in the body as a whole. So we test for a couple different markers here: CRP, homocysteine, markers that most doctors don't test for with every person. And it's a shame, because that's how we unlock the answers, whereas prior we had no idea where to go, right? Because we didn't have testing results. That's the best way we figure out what's wrong, is by testing it and measuring it. We test, we don't guess, okay? And so for you, if you were able to test, and figure out where is your body deficient, where there are obstacles to healing that we can remove, would that be helpful for you? Or would it make no difference? Could it hurt you? Probably not, right? I mean, if you make an argument for that, please put it in the comments. But otherwise, it really only helps everyone we sit down with. And so if you feel like that's a fit for you, go to our link in the bio, by the way, go to our website, read about our approach, see if it makes sense to you. If it does, book a free call. You'll speak to me or my team, and we'll be happy to walk you through what we're seeing in your scenario, what your health concerns are, and what we see as the best path for you. But anyway, but know that these 5 areas are what control your energy. If you're still feeling drained after eating better, and you made changes with your sleep, and you're trying to exercise, maybe exercise is more depleting for you, this is a sign that there's either some obstacles in the way of your body healing itself, or there's something missing that your body needs that it's just not getting. And we need to figure out what that is so we can replace it. Okay, so Ham asks, what are we talking about? I suggest you go back and watch the recording of this live, and you'll catch up here. Okay, so we're talking about how to help you regain your energy. And again, those 5 areas: hormones, blood sugar, liver health, nutrient deficiencies, inflammation. If those haven't been addressed, if those haven't been measured, those haven't been tested for you, it might be time to get that testing done so we can figure out where you're starting from, get a good map of the territory here. All right, so with that, send you off to your day. Double back on your health habits now, right? Having heard this, find an approach that's going to actually address the root causes, right? Finding the problem underneath the problem. And that's the best that you can do for your health.